Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. Implicit bias is free at last. We are free this week, free of corporate constraints, free of social media policies. We are now truly your Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon, and we are back on the air this week without a governor, without a filter, without a corporate communist trying to control everything that we do, say, or infer. So yes, the crew is back at it with additional weekly whiskeys, big announcements, contest entry procedures. But first, truth is, we've actually wanted to do this show for a while. It's been a topic in our conversation for probably several months, and it's one that is way too common today, and one that we have to call out. We must really start here to explain it. First of all, we have to say this. We are capitalists on this show. We do not decry anyone the ability to make as much money as possible by the work of their own hands. Matter of fact, we actually celebrate it. There is, however, a key portion of that statement which needs to be noted, and it's by work of their own hands. Now, this is where we actually start to get skewed. See, our system of economics has progressed in the United States beyond a true capitalist system. We have, in fact, arrived at corporate communism. Now, hear us out on this and really think this through. So first, we have to think about the actual structure of communism with regards to power. That is a political philosophy. In a communist government, power is centralized, consolidated into the hands of the few. They own everything. They dictate everything without the opportunity for those in lower social stratus to advance out of the stratus they were basically born in. If we really think about it, that's where almost all publicly traded companies have gone today. Decisions are made in an ivory tower because they're the only ones that believe they're smart enough and elite enough to have any real freedom. Everyone else must pay their homage to the politics of the organization before they're allowed to actually really have any autonomy, which essentially is just like a communist government. You might make the structure away from it, right? Take the structure out of it, and that's fine. So let's look at the economics of how it works. Basically, exactly the same. What happens in a communist government economically? Here's what happens. The government violates one of the big first commandments. Thou shalt not steal. And yes, that is exactly what a communist government does. It takes money from those who work, those who produce, and it funnels it up to the bureaucrats, while the people are left to many times be poor, barely compensated enough to provide for their own family. And the excuse is that it's for the greater good of not just the people, but the nation. The government controls the messaging, the government controls the narrative, and the people, well, they get their money spent, right? The people's money just goes away, which is, I guess, kind of like the people's elbow, but that's a whole different thing. So to keep the lie going, the government uses the news, marketing, propaganda. Sound familiar? Now, for those who have worked for major corporations, you might actually say, yes, I've lived this. Workloads increasing while people are losing their retirement, seeing benefits reduced all at the same time. The people at the top are making millions or tens of millions in many cases because, well, they're just willing to reduce every other person in the organization who works to a time study. The second the ratio of pay to productivity balances out for the employee, well, then the organization decides the employee isn't carrying their weight. See, the big companies, this is how they keep wages down. They reference actually each other in the labor market and use what's called market labor rates. They check what other companies are paying in those areas. And in other words, if no one else is willing to pay, maybe increase the wages of the employee, well, why should they? So you get wage fixing. And this is the great lie that's sold to many of us who are true capitalists. Workers are told about work-life balance, which really isn't a thing. The corporate communist doesn't care if a salaried employee gives them 80 hours in a week. They still want their 40 the next at a rate that basically has the floor set by all the other big companies in the area. It's sad what we've come to. The corporate communists have done everything they can to remove the dignity of human work in the name of the almighty productivity, which isn't done as work maybe is supposed to be done, in the name of our creator. It's done to advance the organization's shareholders. Now, again, don't misunderstand. We understand the system in this country and in which we live. But the communists couldn't necessarily tackle the government of the United States. So what did they do? They tackled the corporations and the economy. Company after company. Please don't believe us on this one. Go look this up. It's not rocket surgery. So maybe you don't work for a big corporation. Think you're out of the system? Well, hate to say it, we're not. The reality is, even if you don't work for them, we're still subject to the machinations of the big corporations. They're forcing, quote, market-based pricing, which we're going to explore in this week's episode, and they're making it really hard for us to jump off the economic hamster wheel. These corporations want to sell more every year, and they want to do it while at the same time they're increasing their prices year over year, decade over decade. And we wonder why today a basket of groceries costs, about $2.5 billion. Healthcare is unaffordable, and the general cost of living isn't affordable for the average college graduate. Look, we know the Bible isn't on board with this, or communism in general. As a matter of fact, we're told a man who does not work should not eat. We're also told no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. For those who don't know, communist governments dispel Christianity. In other words, the communist government, they want to replace God, which is exactly what these corporations want as well. And it's what they want their employees to do. They set their own principles, they post them all over, they propagate their own set of commandments. These corporations become their own God in their own right. So what's the solution? The solution is a rule that we've had on this show for quite a while. The solution is this: win the game by not playing. In other words, don't do business with the corporate communist. Do business within your own community. Do business for yourself and with your people. Recognize our work is not only done to provide for our families, but also done for our Creator and those around us. This focus keeps us being rewarded for our work, but also rewards the dignity of who we are and what we do. This is the true path for us to reach true freedom, for us to live unapologetically in our own implicit bias. Cheers. Welcome back to Implicit Bias Radio. It is weekly whiskey time. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We got a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's top secret podcast lair. We've even got a live studio audience, which is actually going to double as some of our guests in just a few minutes. But yeah, we got people watching the show too. Let me introduce you to the crew who's here for the show. We're going to start at the bar. It's the OG crew, Grant Galatas of William S. Snakehall Jewelers, otherwise known as K&B. He's from Kennebra.
Always good to be here. Thank you.
Oh, hold on. We got to get your mic there. You can say that again?
Always good to be here. Thank you.
Hold on. We didn't hear that.
Is this thing on?
No. Say it again.
No.
At the bar with Grant is Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist. He's one of only 15 on the planet. He is Rene Girard.
Oh, so you're no longer identifying as?
Well, so
You've
sometimes
gotten away from that now?
Sometimes I identify as that. Sometimes I don't. So I guess that I am hold on, let me think. What would be the proper term? I am a
Poser?
Well, that would be appropriate. That would definitely be appropriate. But I think actually I would qualify in true exponential language, which would be I am a non-binary certified master of tobacco, right? Because sometimes I choose to be one, which I guess would mean I'm a pan-tobacconist.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. All right. Caleb seems to be enjoying this conversation. The Rustic Renegade is obviously here as well.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Did we render him speechless?
No, because I like, when you said you're a pan-tobacconist, I was like, well, that's not what pansexual means. And then I was like, maybe he's confusing it with the mythical creature pan. Then I was like, well, then I imagined Kevon with goat legs. And that was more appropriate.
And this is where we go. This is what happens on Implicit Bias Radio. Yeah. So tons of fun this week, and we're going to tell you about all the stuff, including new weekly whiskeys. We're going to tell you about how you can enter to win tickets to Winner Winner Implicit Dinner, November 15th at Mr. Lester Steakhouse, which, by the way, we might as well get this out of the way right now. The special, Caleb, for the month of October.
Oh, snap. Isn't it $5 Blanton's?
It is $5 pours of Blanton's at Mr. Lester Steakhouse for outrageous October, where it is boo with Blanton's, I guess. What a really fantastic special Chef Willie has out there.
And look, other places you go, because Blanton's is so well known, you're going to pay $20, $30 or probably more often than not for Blanton's. To pay $5, you will save that much money in gas driving down there and getting 2 pours
Yes.
of Blanton's.
As long as he's got them, which is the big
That
stipulation.
means you should go right now.
Yeah.
Wherever you're driving to, pull up your little GPS next to it, and you tell it, hey, I want to go to Mr. Lester's, and it'll say, turn around and follow it.
Which, by the way, make sure that they're actually open when you go there, because they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
If they're not open, get a hotel room, stay until they are.
See, Caleb is just making sure he's got everything covered here. I'm good with that. So let's tell people about Winner Winner Implicit Dinner. It's kind of become a tradition here on Implicit Bias Radio. Happens every November. Always happens right before we get into the Christmas holidays. And at the bar, so Grant, Renee, what can people expect at Winner Winner Implicit Dinner?
A lot of food, a lot of people shooting the breeze with each other, and great pours. And a hotel room afterwards, because you're going to need a nap.
And which means we are going to cover, for the winners, we are going to cover your food, your booze, and your hotel. That is all courtesy of Mr. Lester Steakhouse.
And the buffet that Chef Willie puts out is just phenomenal.
It is. And it also means you must be 21 to enter and win. Now, this is a no purchase necessary thing because by law it has to be. So let me tell you how and where you can go to get entries. The Implicit Bias Liquor Collective, which you heard at the beginning of this. We're going to just work our way north to south. Benny's in Opelousas, Champagne's in Carencro, Ambassador Wine and Spirits, Nunu's in Youngsville or in Maurice, Champagne's in Abbeville. We didn't leave anybody out there, did we?
No,
I'm just making sure that's pretty much everybody.
That's a great stretch of highway, too.
Yeah. Go in there, tell them you want to enter. You'll scan the QR code, put in your information. Ta-da, you are entered. Take a guess where else you can go and enter. I wonder if we've got some storefronts, maybe that are here in the TSPL where you can go enter. Grant, do you have a QR code in Nacall Jewelers?
Can you hear me?
What? No, what?
Can you hear me? Yes, we actually do. It's right at the counter. It is very easy to do. Just come on in. You don't even have to make a purchase. Just come on in and express a little bit of interest. Be enthusiastic, and maybe we'll let you enter.
So you can enter there. Now, if you're not enthusiastic, go see Renee.
This is true. Right down the street.
Because Renee is on Congress, and Renee, you've got one of the QR codes as well.
Yep, right at the register.
Right at the register.
And I tell everybody, take your phone up. Take a picture of that. Just go and do it.
Taking a picture of a QR code, Renee, does not work. We are not working with stone tablets here. You have to put your phone on it and then click the little button. That works. Oh, that's funny, Caleb.
That's like taking
That was good.
That's like taking a picture.
It's not
You
taking
gotta-
a picture.
You got to press the little button.
It is, you have to. No, you press a different button to take a picture.
Look,
Correct?
most
It's
people
taking
know
a
how to
picture
use
of your
it.
computer screen to text to somebody.
Right. That's right. That's how you forward it.
Okay, so you go there. You can also enter at Gambino's Bakery. Gambino's Bakery has one. Lafayette Power Sports will also have the QR code there at Lafayette Power Sports. So anywhere you go where you see that QR code with the Implicit Bias, Winner Winner, Implicit Dinner placard, you're good to go. There's also one other place to enter, which we're going to get to a little bit later because I want to get to this weekly whiskey because our weekly whiskey is a pick from one of the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective partners. It's at Nunu's. You can get this at any location of Nunu's. This is the Nunu's Peerless Rye Whiskey Pick. Now, this is not the off-the-shelf from Peerless because they have an off-the-shelf. This, you have to look for this very special little sticker on the side that says Nunu's. And when I tell you it makes all the difference in the world, it makes all the difference in the world. Please don't believe me. Buy both and try them both, and you'll figure out I'm right. All right, let's start at the bar for our thoughts on this whiskey. And I want to get proof guesses first. So, Grant, I'm curious because you've been sipping on this for a minute.
When we did the tumbling dice, the one I'm looking at right now, it was a 36% rye. And Burley explained that when the rye is done correctly, you don't get as much of a peppery bite right off the bat. So I'm curious. I didn't know if they had the mash bill on this one or if it says
This
it
is
on
a
the label.
straight rye,
This is
straight rye whiskey.
Okay. Then my guess keeps going up. I thought it was not even close to 100, and then I went to 104. But I'm gonna say this might be around 114.
Okay. Renee?
I'm going to go 110 on this one.
110. See, I find it really interesting that at first you thought, Grant, it was 90, 95.
Yeah, again, because of the tumbling dice, I got fooled by that one. But if this one's done correctly and it has that mixture, then it could very well be a deceptive 114.
So what you're telling me is that this is incredibly smooth. It goes down easy, not a lot of burn.
It all depends. If I get it correct, do I have to wear the chain?
No, we're going to play What Would You Pay for
I don't
this
want
in
to
a
wear that
minute.
chain again. I'm kidding, but no, it's fantastic. The bouquet on this one, if you will, is absolutely fantastic. I'm curious to say I'm not pulling too many flavors. I don't get overly sweet in any direction.
Okay.
But it is a fantastic drink.
Okay, so you actually like this straight rye, which
Oh, absolutely.
you weren't normally a straight rye guy. You were more of a bourbon type guy, and now you're going straight rye. This one's really good.
When done correctly, apparently.
Straight rye when done correctly.
Correct.
And you're saying this one is.
Absolutely.
Okay. Renee, let's go ahead and let you poo-poo it because we know you're going to call it donkey whiskey or Mikey doesn't like anything.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to take Tremo's words here. No, it tastes like whiskey to me. It just doesn't.
I'm glad it tastes like whiskey.
Yeah, it doesn't thrill me, but I'm not going to spit it out either. I mean, I will drink it. In fact, my glass is empty, and I'm going to pour another one. It's just the initial sip I took of it was a little offsetting, I guess.
It was spicy for you?
It was very spicy, very hot. And then it's smoothed out, and it could have been you aired this one out because you figured it was going to be a little hot, and maybe sitting in my glass it needed some more air. I don't know.
So I didn't necessarily know that it might be hot, but what I knew was the sample that I had of this before I actually brought it to the show
Right.
had been open.
Right.
So that meant it had some air underneath it. So I was trying to replicate that to
Yeah.
make sure that everybody got that because I will tell you, I believe this is fantastic. We'll go to my review in a minute.
I'll pour another one and see.
So Renee, what you're telling me is you're going to go take off your skirt, you're going to put on a pair of pants and come back and have another drink of a man's drink is what you're telling me.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So I'm going to kind of give you my review of this. This to me is what really good rye whiskey should be. If you don't know, this tastes like a bourbon. If you did not know that this was a rye and I blind tasted this, you would swear this is a bourbon. I get big caramel off of this. I get vanilla. I get the traditional oak on this, almost to the level of the double oak rye that Peerless produces. It almost has that toasted flavor to it. So you get that little bit of burnt marshmallow on it. You get just all those beautiful flavors that come with this. It's got the right viscosity. It's clean. It sits on the palate really, really well. And that first sip, while you have just enough aggression to it, oh my goodness, it lingers. It's got a long finish, and it just makes you want more. This, to me, is everything that a rye whiskey should be. This, to me, is almost everything that a bourbon should be. And I will tell you what I think about this. I've had some of the holy grails of rye. This, to me, is as good as any Thomas Handy Sazerac rye I've ever had. Now, for those who know, Thomas Handy Sazerac rye is the unobtainium of Buffalo Trace Antique Collection ryes, the BTAC ryes. This is phenomenal. This had to be a honey barrel coming out of Peerless, probably right there in Louisville on the river. Really nice aging on it. I love this. So I'm actually curious to see what Caleb comes up with this because now, even as it sits on my palate, I'm getting another flavor. I'm almost getting cola on this, just a little hint of cola. So Caleb, it is time now for the Caleb Morse Memorial Whiskey Review because we all know that we're about to hear about how this tasted, that burnt piece of wood that was at Mama's on the fire on July 31st, which was just a little over hot to have a fire, but you still had it anyway.
You have to have one.
You had to have one. Yes. Okay, Caleb, go ahead.
So I get honeysuckle and leather on the nose, like wet leather, not like sweat and everything else. I don't know. It's just moist leather, and it's airy. It's
He said
beautiful.
moist.
Yeah, and man, the smell on this one is just perfect. And then I'm trying to figure out on the palate because I get I put down a smoky vanilla milk. Like I've never drank that, but I drank it right here. Like there was a drink when I was a kid. My grandmother would do powdered milk and all this other stuff, or not powdered milk, but like cocoa mix, right?
Okay.
And she would make hot chocolate, but it had other things in it. And to be able to sit down and have this, I get like a smoky vanilla milk, and it's just delicious. It's such a surprise, and I really enjoy it. Then I get it followed up by just cracked black pepper. That's the rye spice coming at you, and then honeysuckle. It just finishes so clean, so delicious. This is rye done right.
So what proof do you think this? Renee was saying
And
110. Grant tried to
I'm
pick a
going to-
range. Grant started at 90. So Grant was like, I want 90 to 114, which is,
I'm going to be very honest with you.
you lied. You
Originally, I
cheated.
was thinking 90, 95, and then I thought of another number, and then you turned the bottle while I was looking at you. So I know what this is. I don't want to. I don't.
You go ahead and say it.
I
It's
was
okay.
I was gonna guess 107. I was like 90, 95, 93, 95, and then when I got through the dismal pour that you gave me,
Oh, shut up, short pour.
oh,
You don't get to be burly.
It was like 2 thimbles in
Oh,
there.
stop.
You didn't let me pour my own glass because you knew the bottle would go away.
Yes, I did.
And when you turned it and I saw 114, I was like, son of a gun, that's perfect. This does not drink like a
No,
115.
not
I
even close.
legitimately thought it was 93, 95 in the beginning. It took me most of my pour to get the flavor and to realize, okay, that's not just a black pepper. That's a little bit of the alcohol. It's coming in perfect. This is the rye that I want from now on.
And this is one of those ryes that sits so well. We were talking about this with our studio audience who will actually be on here because we've got Batter Up Baseball here, just a little tease of what's going to come up in hour 2, who is putting on an event called Baseball with Bourbon. It's going to be a Rockin' Bowl, going to be in November. We'll tell you how to get tickets and what all it does. But we were having that conversation about where this fits in well. And it's funny because somebody said, man, this is that sitting in a duck blind. It's awful chilly. You want something that's going to warm you up just enough, but not choke you and kill you and be really tasty. And I said, man, this is that sitting out at the deer camp. It's about 15 degrees outside at night. You are wanting to get just a little warm by the fire. This
gives you just enough.
This is 35-year-old Selma Hayek. This is, I mean, just absolutely voluptuous. It is luxurious. It is all that, and I can't say the rest on the radio.
So you're saying this is AOC?
Oh no, no! Why do you ruin things? Why do you ruin things for me? Nobody can have. You are why we can't have nice things.
It brings me joy.
Okay, so it's time to play. What would you pay? Now this is where we're gonna have a ton of fun because I made the comment. You want something from Peerless? They're regular, everyday, off-the-shelf stuff. It's not low end on the price point. It's just not. So I'm curious, what would you pay? Where does this sit on the scale of what you've had and what you think the liquid is worth? Renee's going to start us off for the what would you pay championship chain belt. The what would you pay championship belt chain presented by Box Drop
We
Lafayette.
should just call it the back pain.
Hey, relieved by the mattress you pick up at
Yep,
Box Drop.
yep,
Yeah, there
yes.
you go. All right, Renee.
I'm thinking 90.
90.
Yeah, $90.
Okay.
And you want to rate it?
Rate it.
Green.
I'm so, Renee gave it a green.
I
Oh
mean,
my God,
Of
this is
course,
gonna
I'm
be
still waiting for another pour, though.
this is going to be a blue all the way around. Watch,
Yeah,
you'll get
yeah.
another pour, Renee. Grant.
I'm gonna give it a blue. And thank you for the little extra info about they usually price their stuff up a little bit because I was at a certain range, but I'm gonna say this is right under $100 at about $99.99.
$99.99. All right, Caleb.
God, dog it. I'm gonna have to go higher now. It's a blue, by the way, and we'll go 106.99 because I was a C note and I can't be that close.
So we have 90, we have $99.99 and $106.99.
Yep.
All right. So first of all, this is a blue. There is no doubt. This is one of those bottles. It's special. And we've had really good picks before on this show that we've said were blue. This is a blue of the blue. This is, you know what? The best way to describe this, the ultimate rating we can give this particular type of whiskey, it is all rye, all rye, all rye. That's what this is. This will make you a pure rye drinker, especially at $84.99.
Woo!
Which means Renee is the what would you pay championship belt chain winner at $90. What a win for Renee Girard. And look, this bottle at that price all day, every day, twice on Sundays in our implicit bias. We'll be back jumping into the corporate communists and what is being done to us on a daily basis when we continue this episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Slamming the door on the corporate communist on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. Welcome into the TSPL, the top secret podcast lair where we have got not just a crew, but a show for you this week. Reminder of who's here. We, of course, have the Rustic Renegade. He is Caleb Morris, and he is finally not complaining about his pour of weekly whiskey.
It's much better now. Much better.
Quit your whining. At the bar, we have Renee Girard, Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist, and Grant Galatas, otherwise known as K&B, which stands for Kennebra, because he's from, where are you from?
Kennebra.
There you go. Only he can say it and say it right. So let's dive into the monologue and what we were talking about and kind of where we were going, because I sent out an article this week that fascinated me with regards to what retail is doing, but I've known that this has happened for a while, the extent to which I was not sure. And it made me realize just how far big corporations have gone with their philosophy, which is top-down power, siphon the money off the people doing the work so that the people who are at the top and the elites get the money that they just feel like they deserve. And then I realized, man, it's kind of actually been going that way for quite a while. The fun part here is no one in the TSPL works for any of those companies. But when did you realize, is my question, that these corporations were basically looking at a situation and going, man, we can rig the system, essentially, and do it in a somewhat legal manner?
Like, really? When did I realize that?
Yeah.
Probably 5.5, 6 years ago, whenever something called the Google Beacon came out. And it was a small little device that would ping your phone. And when it would ping your phone, it would get all your personal data. Anything you put in your phone. If you had your health data, it would get that. If it had your income, anything else, anything to do with your social media, all that, all your locations. And then that was offered to business owners. And you could buy it for a region, for an area, and no one else in your area could get it. When I heard about it, I bought it. I legitimately did. And I never turned it on. Because I didn't want anyone else in our area to have that. Because I thought it was an unfair advantage and that it was wrong to manipulate people on their own data. Because it gave you the idea of where they shop, how much they spend, how much time they spend at those locations. It gave you all of this information. Now, about 8 months later, it was deemed illegal. But that's when I realized that, man, to the average marketing major, you were just an extra dollar sign. That's it.
Well, if you do any online shopping, there's a certain big company that most people buy a lot of stuff from.
Oh, no. Well, I'll name these companies in a minute, and I'll go into that.
But if you go and click on an item just to look at it, and then don't put it in your shopping cart, just go and start shopping, and next time, could be 5 minutes later, could be a day later, the price on that item has gone up.
Preach. And let me...
because that you didn't act quick enough, we're going to charge you more. But getting back to the corporate thing, that corporate with employees has been going on forever. My wife was a victim of that 20 years ago, working for a fast food chain. You get to a certain level, and then the corporation's like, okay, we're going to fire her as a manager and hire somebody at half that price, and we save a buttload of money.
Even worse than that is businesses that are doing great business and give people who are actually working in the business true benefits. So if you think back 40, 50 years, what was one of the reasons that people would go to work for a company? What was one of the big reasons 40, 50 years ago you'd go to work for any good company?
The benefits and the working conditions.
So let's get real specific on benefits. The pension plan.
Pensions,
Because-
medical.
Yeah. And look, the company was making enough money to fund the retirement for people who work for them, and that was part of the enticement to go. So,
Well, and also back then, when you went to work for a company, you were part of the company, you were part of the family. They treated you like family back. Now, we're talking probably 50 plus years ago. It started changing about 50 years ago, going to where it's just a bunch of money grubbers.
Well, and what happened, what changed is, in a small business like those of us have here, loyalty goes both ways. In a big corporation, loyalty goes up and only up.
correct.
Yeah.
The people at top are not loyal to the people at the bottom. Only those at the bottom are loyal to the top because you want to see the company do better. Not because you want to see, I'm going to use the name Jim get a bigger bonus at the end of the year and his dividends be better, but because the people that you sweat with and work with every day, you want to see them do better. So you put your heart and soul into it and become loyal to the company.
You're exactly right, Grant.
And that loyalty was usually paid off, especially if you devoted a majority of your life to this company and making that company profitable. What Renee was just saying is crazy, because now you see somebody will put 25, 30 years into a company, and then just before they start to get their retirement benefits, they find a reason to 86 that individual and make them go bye-bye before they receive their benefits.
So think about the pension plans. Pension plans were a thing all across this country until somebody said, we got a tax benefit in a 401k. And then what did they do? They all went, well, this one went to a 401k. So since they went, we're going to go. And unfortunately, and it's a tacit agreement, it's an unspoken agreement amongst companies where they go, well, you know what? If they're all going, we're going to go too. What are they going to do? What are the workers going to do if nobody offers the pension anymore? Guess what? We're not going to offer it because nobody else is, so you can't go anywhere else and get it. So essentially what you have now is a very nuanced form of wage fixing, right? And what they do is they call it market-based wages. So they say, oh, well, what are people being paid in these markets? Now, this is where we get into what Renee is talking about, which is market-based pricing. So I'm going to tell you how this works. And you can take this for the experience from the companies that I've worked for. I've worked for big companies, and they will tell you, we engage in market-based pricing. Here's how it works, Renee. You go online and you shop for something. They go into your computer and say, who'd you search? There's an algorithm that they look at and go, what are all the other prices online for this particular item? They get all the prices and they decide almost in real time, this is our price on that item. Now, we're going to try and leverage our value because maybe we can get it to you the next day. Maybe it's 3 days out. So they say, we don't want to be the cheapest, but we also don't want to be the most expensive. So they place themselves right in the middle. Now, here's the problem. The problem is the guy who's the cheapest very quickly realizes, well, man, I'm the cheapest. And if everybody else is charging $5 more, I can charge $3 more and still be the cheapest, because multiple of these companies are doing this. Many companies that we do business with today are doing this actively right now while we speak. And then when the cheapest guy goes up $3, the guy who said, oh, I'm not going to be the cheapest, I'm going to be just above the cheapest, I can go up $5 and be $5 more expensive. They go, well, we still want to be $5 more expensive. So now, if the cheapest guy was $10, he goes to $13. The middle price guy was $15. He now goes, oh, well, they went up to $13, so I can go up to $18. And what you get is price fixing through the algorithm. They set an artificial floor for the price of the product, and that is how they ultimately siphon, by 2, 3, 4 big companies on the planet, how they siphon money out of your wallet to create inflation. Because it's not necessarily what they have to make, like when families own businesses and they said, this is what I need to make, and if I make more, great, I'll give some back to the community, I'll give some back to the employees, we'll make this really work. They go, this is what we can make our shareholders and drive up our stock price. That's how they look at it. And they do the same thing with wages. They look at an area and go, well, let's see. If we hire at this wage, not the job is worth X, so we're going to pay X. They go, the job is worth Y. And every business does this in some way, shape, or form if you can get a better opportunity. But once you realize that person is really good at what they do, you go, you know what? I probably need to up their salary. Now they look at it and go, well, we've got pay bands because we can't overpay for this role in this area versus this role in that area. And now they start getting all of their own little algorithms going inside where they go, we're not going to pay any more than this. And now you've set an artificial price ceiling or a wage ceiling in your area.
But I mean, the first time I came across that, in the service, it's, look, you make this much with your time in service, with your grade, your rank, and that's it. That's what you get. When I left the service and worked for a big company in the oil field, and I was told that time and grade, time and service got you a salary. And that's what it was. Now you would get job bonuses and so forth, depending on what you were doing and when you were doing it and where you were at, deep water, that kind of stuff. And I went to California, did a bunch of jobs there, and I heard what those guys were making, and I was like, well, son of a gun. Like, they were 50% more than what I was making.
And the excuse is, well, their cost of living is higher.
Well, they're unionized.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, well, man, I don't want to be in a union, but 50% more is outrageous. So then I started working more. I couldn't get overtime, but I could get more bonuses because they got a job bonus. And they were happy with one job a day. I would do 6, 7, 8 jobs a day. And all of a sudden, little old Caleb from South Louisiana, who wasn't in a union, was working more than they were working, making more than they were making. And then they were mad. And I got run out of California.
This is the way it works.
What was good for the goose was not good for the gander.
Because you wouldn't join the union and give them 50% of your salary as union dues.
Now, let's be honest. Unions had a place and have a place in this country because of the corporate communist.
Right.
Because literally this got so bad, Tug, you're going to have to stick that finger for a minute. The companies in this country got so bad, and I'm going to go back to really what created the unions. You go back to, what was the book about the meat packing industry, that the conditions were so terrible and the pay was so low.
It was before that. That was Upton Sinclair.
Yes.
But the unions actually started in the tobacco industry. Cigar rollers is where unions started.
And why did they start?
Gompers,
Why did they start?
because they felt that they weren't getting paid equal or fairly for the amount of work that they were
Because you
doing.
had wage fixing.
Right. Yep.
Right? That's the other solution, which is a solution that I'm not always in favor of. But at some point, when Wall Street gets that greedy, people have to do something. And when the scales are out of balance, and we're going to keep going with market-based pricing and what's actually happening, because it's much worse than you think, as we wrap up hour one of this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Final segment of hour one of this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Stick with us, because in hour two, we're going to start off with Batter Up Baseball, have a fantastic time talking about their event, Baseball with Bourbon, and the keynote speaker they've got coming in for that event. You don't want to miss it. Right now, we're going to do a quick aside before we go back into the market-based pricing conversation, because this is tons of fun, and it is how you can enter to win tickets to Implicit Dinner at Mr. Lester Steakhouse on November 15th. So I've already told you, you can go into William S. Nacall Jewelers, you can go into Piper's Haven, Gambino's Bakery, you can go into Lafayette Power Sports, you can go into any of the locations that I'm going to give you for the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective, Benny's Grocery in Opelousas, Champagne's in Karen Crow, Ambassador Wine and Spirits, Champagne's in Abbeville, Nunu's in in Maurice, and in Youngsville. Just scan the QR code, enter your information. You are entered. No purchase necessary. There's also no purchase necessary for this one, and this is a fun way to enter at the Rustic Renegade. Caleb, you want to spill the beans?
Well, Tug, let's show the video.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't send any video.
I was about to say,
for that, yeah.
what?
Yeah,
we got video that I didn't know about?
No,
Okay.
I didn't do that. Yeah, so
Video on the radio.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
so just remember, if you want to see the video of this and see what we look like, first of all, I'm sorry.
So just close your eyes and just imagine this.
Second of all, you can go to YouTube, you can go to X, you can go to Instagram. If you're watching on KLFY Plus, thanks for watching. And
Most
by the way, thank you for the shine. We're going to bring it on the show. Caleb forgot it. That's on him.
Yeah, that is on me.
Under the bus.
So I have the simulation range. The simulation range, think of it as a big video game. It's a great way to get practice in, a great way to get reps in and become proficient, where you separate confidence and competence. And Kevon and I were sitting down, we were standing up, and we picked out, very scientifically, a good course of fire
We guessed.
and shot it. And we said, let's do this one. So you can come by the shop, come on, get your first attempt right there to shoot Echo 4. I want to say it's 58 rounds. We'll call it 60.
54 if you hit everything on the first
There
shot.
you go, 54 rounds.
Yep.
Easy. You should be able to run it in about 90 seconds.
Okay, so we got to explain the system, though.
Well, yeah.
Because
yeah.
you can run it significantly faster in actual time, but
You
there
can.
are penalties for missing. There's
yeah.
penalties for shooting the hostages. I mean,
the lower your score, the better. You have
Yes.
moving targets. You have steel targets. 2 shots per brown cardboard target. 1 shot per steel target. Nothing when the red X gets hit. And run this course. Run it. Try it. Kevon shot very well. The goal is to get you on the leaderboard, right? So the top 10 leaderboard. You get on the top 10 leaderboard. You get your name in a hat to win. I'll tell you right now, I am not number 1. That number 1 belongs to Sage Bro. He sat down for about 10, 12 days straight, memorized the
oh yeah,
course
he
of
did.
fire.
He cheated. He
Yeah.
cheated like a.
He memorized the course of fire, did it literally every day, 8 hours a day,
He cheated like a Democrat on election day.
until he could beat me. Until he could beat me. Now, that being said, right now, I'm in second place with a left-handed shooting score.
I'm in third place, shooting with my dominant hand,
Yeah.
right-handed. So the rule is, number 1, if you get on the leaderboard, you get entered. We're going to draw that name. We'll announce it here on the show. We'll call you. We'll let you know. You got to leave your name, your phone number, your email address, all that stuff so we can
Yep.
confirm you're going to
We're
make it.
going to run it through the point of sale, right? So I've got it in there. First attempt, $0.
Free to enter.
And
if
then
you want to play more, that's on you.
and then we'll run it through there. That way we get your name, address, email address, phone number. That way, if you win, I can contact you. Without that, I can't contact you.
Now, the game can immediately end. It can just be over. But here's how it's over. On your first attempt and first attempt only, not only do you surpass me, which I'm sure plenty of really good shooters will go there and surpass me,
You did well. You did well.
but you also have to surpass Caleb. So Sage is 1, Caleb is 2,
And look,
I am 3.
I'm not going to shoot it again.
I
I'm
won't
not.
shoot it again either.
I shot it left-handed the other day to record a little video for it. Didn't realize how well I shot, and did fairly well. And I'm right-handed for those of you that don't know that, and I'm not going to shoot it again.
Make the leaderboard, you're in. Somebody beats both me and Caleb, automatic winner, implicit dinner. It's over, they win, and they get the invite. Grant, you look like you're thinking this is fun.
I'm just curious. Caleb's sitting in second, left-handed, and your dominant hand is right. Would Sage have no chance if you were to do it right-handed?
No, because I was in second place right-handed, and Sage obliterated my score. I'm not lying about that. Like, he beat me. So the lower your score, the better. Right now, I'm in second place at 58, and a 32 is perfect. Sage shot a 36 with weeks of days of practice, hours of practice, memorization. Probably had timers going in the background with prompts.
And I will tell you, I am in third at 69 seconds.
Okay, but I just want Caleb to do it right-handed and then stand in front of the screen and go, but I am not left-handed.
Actually,
I did that when I was left-handed.
just hold your water there. You might get your wish. I'm just saying. For that, go to the Rustic Renegade social media pages and wait and see when that comes out. Okay, so go enter. Please, we look forward to seeing you. It's going to be the Implicit Bias crew and about 80 of our closest friends at this event. It's going to be a fantastic event, November 15th at Mr. Lester Steakhouse, which, by the way, right now is doing $5 pours of Blanton's through October. Insane. Outrageous October. Back to market-based pricing, which is not what Mr. Lester's is doing with Blanton's. So we talked about market-based pricing in the last segment, where companies are looking online. They're seeing what other companies are pricing it for. They're seeing how many times you've searched it. They're seeing when you're going to get it. They're seeing all this stuff, and they're essentially setting a floor for the price that continually increases over time and builds in an automatic fix to the price. What would you say here in the TSPL, that's the top secret podcast layer for the uninitiated, if I told you that there are companies who have experimented with personalized pricing, not
This is me
market-based
surprised.
pricing?
This is me very surprised.
So all this data about where you are in the store, all this geofencing, all the data around your phone and what you're a rewards member of, and all this stuff, all the cameras that are in the store that I'm not going to say they're using facial recognition yet.
No, they can. They can use facial recognition for security purposes. That must be the primary role, is for security purposes. If they use it for price fixing, personalized pricing, and all that, that
Crosses a line.
it cannot be the primary function.
But it's perfectly possible, because the video that you sent, when I started doing the advertising for the jewelry store, I guess it was, like Caleb said, like 6-7 years ago. When you enter an establishment, they have all your personal information, your buying history, your shopping habits, all of that. So I mean, that's easily corruptible to where if you should walk, but the video said this actual display of the pricing of the item. If they see you coming, I mean, it could be corrupted to that point to where the display, it changes based on your economic status.
So let's talk about where we're going, right? Where we're going is there are some stores that no longer have old school price tags. They don't have price tags. They have price screens underneath everything.
There is a big push right now from our point of sale company for us to go to these.
And you know what that allows those companies to do? Because if you think those aren't connected to the internet,
Oh, they're 100%.
you are sadly mistaken. What it allows them to do is it allows them to say, oh, that can of corn is sitting on the shelf at 99 cents. The commodity price of corn moved up 35 cents today. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to increase that price of that corn right now.
Yep.
To the consumer. We'll increase it even if it's only 15 cents. Well, it's not the whole increase in the price of corn. It's still an automatic increase. And here's the really funny part. Somebody actually says, well, and this is what the corporation will tell you, well, we could bring the prices down the same way too. They are so full of it, it's not even funny.
Well, I mean, everybody walks around with a cell phone in their pocket. Well, guess what? That's a tracking device.
It is.
Go look something up on your cell phone, and from then on, in your socials, your Facebook feed, any searches you do on the internet.
Renee, you don't have to look it up. Talk about it around your cell phone.
Yeah, and all of
Okay.
that stuff will pop up. So, I mean, like the variable pricing that you're talking about, if you start walking towards the can of corn, they're going to go, oh, Kavan's got deep pockets. Let's go up on the can of corn.
Here's the funny part. The funny part is, and we're going to close this hour on this, the funny part is what we have seen, and please go look this up, don't trust me, but what is being inferred, let me put it that way, is that, believe it or not, the more personal money you actually have, the lower your pricing is. Because if you have less money that's yours, you're more likely to be spending the government's money, so the price goes up to take the money from the taxpayer than it is from somebody else.
Oh, it's like Robin Hood.
If you are no, Robin Hood stole from the government and gave to the poor, not the other way around.
Stole from the rich to give
No,
to the
he stole
poor.
from the government. It was the sheriff of Nottingham
Yeah.
that he stole from.
The
If you are about to miss hour 2 of Implicit Bias Radio, make sure you call your station, tell them you want to hear more, tell them you want the second hour, whether you're in New Orleans, if you are in Monroe, if you are in Vidalia, if you are in Natchez, Mississippi. Trust me, you don't want to miss hour 2, which is always more fun on Implicit Bias Radio. We'll be back. Just feel the flow, go to your home. Feel the flow, go to your home. Go to your happy place, happy. Go to your happy place. This is Implicit Bias Radio. What, Caleb?
Why won't you go home? That's where I go.
Get in your home. Get in your home. Yeah, this is Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kavan Bordelon. Hour 2 is always more fun because, yes, we're usually on weekly whiskey 2, 3, or 4. But, man, I can't get away from sipping this particular Peerless. This is the Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey from Peerless. It is a new news pick. It is a blue on the show, 114 proof, $84.99, and worth every penny. I would say worth a heck of a lot more in the bottle. Joining us here this week, what, Caleb? Why are you touching the bottle? Don't touch it. Don't touch
looks
it.
like a cookie.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
The
Don't-
cork
stop
looks like a
touching.
cookie.
Would you
Look
stop
at that.
touching me?
Can the
Caleb, would you
viewers
stop?
see that?
Would you stop touching? Would you stop touching, Caleb? Go away. Mine. Anyway, let's get into hour 2 of the show. Yeah, Caleb, I know the things you want to do with this bottle because I know how much you
Yeah,
like rye.
It's damn good. I'm drinking a rye right now. Not that one.
You can.
Well, that
Well,
one.
Mrs.
No.
Implicit Bias Radio
No.
might be upset with
You
you.
already told me that your wife would stab me.
Yes, no, we're not going there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let me welcome you back into hour 2 of Implicit Bias Radio. Like I said, I'm Kavan Bordelon. We hope you've enjoyed. We hope you're sampling a weekly whiskey with us. We hope you're laughing with us, at us. We really don't care either way. We just hope you're laughing. Let me introduce you to the rest of the crew who is now here with us in the Mr. Lester's top secret podcast lair, located somewhere in Lafayette, Louisiana, at the bar. This is an event that is kind of near and dear to our heart. Why? Because it is not just baseball. It is baseball with bourbon. And to tell us about that is Tommy Dean and head coach Brooks Batto. Fantastic event that you guys have going. We're going to talk about it in just a second. But first, I want to talk about the whiskeys that you got. Because we brought them here to the Mr. Lester's TSPL. They were our live studio audience for the first hour. So you got to see kind of how the sausage is made here on the show. You got to sample some of the weekly whiskeys.
What is up with you and all the innuendos tonight?
What innuendos?
Sausage.
Speak for yourself.
Teasing.
Speak for yourself. That is not innuendo for me.
Earlier, you talked about teasing balls.
No.
Yes, you did. You were talking about them. Tug's gonna go back and check it.
No. Okay. So now I know what you're referencing because it doesn't even register because a tease in TV and radio means that you are giving just a little bit of information to keep people here with you through maybe an hour. And I was talking about
Yeah, just say it.
baseball,
Yeah.
baseball and
yeah,
bourbon.
Yes.
Baseball with bourbon. So
Teasing. Yeah.
yeah,
mhm.
yeah, teasing baseball with bourbon. That's what I was teasing, which could be a lot of fun if you do it right. Speaking of which, back to the bourbon part of this. All right, Tommy. So first of all, I know you've been wanting to come to the TSPL. I've invited you before, and actually I think you've been here once, but you didn't actually get to come in for a show.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw you under the bus a little bit. You never invited me here, and this is my first time here, but I want to be here again. So now I'm inviting myself.
Okay, that works.
Best way to do it.
So,
That's right.
Brooks, this is one of the things that we really enjoy because people don't understand the amount of just sheer happiness it can bring when we bring someone here into the Mr. Lester's TSPL who says, I really don't drink whiskey. And I can see on your face how much you've enjoyed drinking whiskey here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL.
Well, you had me when you said this is a locker room.
Yes,
Act like you're in a locker room.
and it is.
And this is it. And you nailed it. You nailed it with that comparison. Having played, that's my favorite part of being on a team is being in the locker room, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. And you nailed it. Y'all are doing a great job. It was fun to watch the first segment, and I'm excited about what we have coming up.
No, so look, I appreciate that. And I'm so glad you said that. And it really makes me happy to say that we nail it with that because of this reason. We have lost the truly valuable parts of a locker room mentality. And you use the word brotherhood. we often say we are the implicit bias family. We are a fraternity of people who believe the same things, see the same things, share the same implicit biases, and we're happy about that. Locker rooms, for those who've never played sports, locker rooms are some of the best places in the world you can be because, number one, you better have thick skin. Number two, all's fair inside of that locker room. But it is what we call the animal house mentality, which is what we live by, which is, hey, wait a minute. They can't do that to our pledges. Only we can do that to our pledges. So the rookies get hazed. Hazing is not a bad thing. Stupid hazing is a bad thing. Two different things. But when you get out of the locker room, there is no differential. You settle your differences in the locker room if you got differences, but facing everybody else, it's one family unit, correct?
100%. We used to have a saying: "What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room." Like you said, it's sacred. It's sacred to the few people that belong in there and that have earned their way in there. And sometimes you have to earn it. Like you said, freshmen have to earn their stripes.
Yeah.
And it's part of it. When that stuff stops happening, you're not a part of the group anymore.
And guess what? Not only are you not a part of the group, the team is no longer a team.
Correct.
Because it is the ability to take the criticism that sometimes is pointed. But it's never, even though it sometimes might come across that way, it's never meant to hurt. It's always meant to say, this is meant to make the team better.
Oh, absolutely. And when you've been in a good one, the different types of emotions that take place in the locker room, it can go from, so happy you just had this great achievement to so sad, you lost a loved one, whatever. And it gets from the highest of the high practical joker to as serious and the best advice you could ever get. That's when people truly care about each other.
And that's fantastic. I know Caleb has a lot of that experience with his military brothers who I know he served with. And Caleb, again, some of the stories that I've heard, they are fantastic stories. We can't repeat these stories on the radio, but I guarantee that some of those people that you played jokes on are probably some of your best friends ever.
Most definitely. And I still have regular conversations with them. And it's a bond, much like sports, that you can never break.
So let's talk about what you guys are doing with baseball with bourbon. So first of all, why baseball with bourbon? Because hitting a baseball is statistically one of the hardest things to do in any sport, and doing that with bourbon really seems to make it a little more difficult.
Yeah, well, look, I'll just jump into it. I'm glad I wrote this down a little bit, so bear with me because this is my fourth bourbon. You dared me to go in your cabinet, and I took the challenge.
No, so
good locker room.
I did not dare you. You complained about a pour or something like that. You said, "Oh, we need more." So I said, "Okay, if you need more, you're gonna ask. Be careful what you get."
I said, if we're gonna be out here for an hour listening to you guys, we need something to drink because we're gonna get thirsty. And you pointed me to your cabinet, and I graciously accepted your invite. So here we are. But no, so Batter Up Baseball. This club was founded by two phenomenal and passionate human beings, Kevin and Joel Bro. And if you know these folks, you know what kind of people they are. They're just phenomenal people. But Batter Up Baseball Club is a local nonprofit using the game of baseball to build character, confidence, and most importantly, community right here in Lafayette. Kavan, like you guys know, you have family members, you yourself. Most families spend 6 to 9 months a year at the ballpark anyway. So our mission here is to make that experience richer and more charitable, not more expensive or unobtainable, to use a bourbon word that you guys use in the secret podcast layer. But there's a ton of local talent around this area and even way outside of this area. So we're looking to create opportunities that connect our baseball community with the best in the game from all over the country and right here in Acadiana. So, for example, Coach Brooks is sitting right next to me, but just yesterday, he had a group of guys from Turlings hitting with the hitting coach from the Atlanta Braves, right? All the way from Atlanta to come in to Lafayette, Louisiana. The hitting coach, his name was Tim Hires. He came into town and worked with some of the boys. And that connection was made possible through our spokesperson, Coach Brooks. But what I want to talk about is coming up on November 7th, so mark your calendars. And what I'm really here to promote is our inaugural baseball and bourbon event, which essentially will be just a fun night for parents, coaches, baseball fans, and of course, fans of bourbon to just come and relax, connect, and hear from our keynote speaker, which is Coach Mike Kozlowski, who is the head baseball coach at the United States Air Force Academy.
Wait, y'all got the guy, Mike. Did y'all bring the other one, the big furry one?
Oh, Mike Wazowski.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski.
Okay. So
yeah,
this
okay,
event,
Mike Kozlowski. Okay, there we go. I'm just making sure.
No, that's a good comparison. So look, this event is going to be at Rock and Bowl. You guys know Johnny Blanchard very well. Johnny takes care of all of his people. But Kavan, name a better combination than baseball, bourbon, and our nation's greatest patriots all in one room.
So I love that we've got the big tie-in here. And first of all, I have to say, Tommy, cheers to you. I know how hard it is for you just to read, period, much less read after a couple of whiskeys. So I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, my friend.
But,
I'm taking my hat off for those who can't see me. I'm tipping my hat to Kavan.
Okay. And well, by the way, you are actually on video, so people can see you. Just
Yeah,
so
but they're
you
not
know.
going to watch this part. Right
Oh
now.
yeah, they
Not
are.
today, at least.
Oh yeah, well, not today, but trust me, they will. And you know what happens? The internet is forever.
That's
Like
right.
a great
That's right.
baseball movie, The Sandlot, forever. Okay, so Brooks, if you would, I'd like to talk about Coach Mike. You've seen him speak, you've heard him speak. Head coach of Air Force, correct?
Correct.
Tell us about who he is, kind of the kind of person that he is, and what people can expect if they come to the event.
So they call him Kaz. So Coach Kaz, I met him back in 2010-ish. I was coaching at UL. I was aspiring to get in the college ranks, and I had a gig with USA Baseball, and made a few connections. Coach Kaz had just gotten a job at the Air Force Academy. He retired as a major from the Air Force. Made a couple of deployments as a pilot, and now he played. He played at Air Force Academy as a player under Coach Maneri.
Okay.
A familiar name.
Yeah.
You know, Maneri left Air Force, went to LSU. So we made some connections, which is what Tommy was alluding to. That's what this is all about. This is all about connecting people, using baseball as a platform, and just bringing Lafayette, which is a great community in itself. And now we have a common ground, whether it's military, whether it's baseball, we can make a happy marriage and make friends. But I met Kaz. I was aspiring to move on, and we were in talks of him maybe offering me a job to go to the Air Force Academy, and couldn't do it at the time. My wife was pregnant. It was just stars didn't line up.
Yep.
Fast forward, 3 years ago, he's the keynote speaker at our baseball coaches banquet convention here at Rock and Bowl. And I heard him speak, and he comes out with this just, motivational video.
So let me ask, does he talk all about baseball or does he talk about other stuff?
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
He opens up, and I go up to him. I never met him personally, just phone conversations, kind of a phone interview. I go up to him. We make the connection. It's now been, 10, 12, 15 years. So listen, we almost had this opportunity. And he comes up to me and he's like, I said, man, I wish I could have taken that. And he's like, you never know what'll happen. You seem like a great American, and that's what I'm all about, is great Americans. And right there, I'm like, holy cow, this guy's speaking my language. My dad's a Vietnam Army Ranger, Purple Heart.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, this guy. Then he gets on the stage and he opens up, he shows this video, he opens up, he says, who won the World Series this year? And so a couple guys raise their hand. It's all coaches. Oh, that's great. How about the Cy Young? Who hit the most home runs? And he says, thanks for letting me know. And I appreciate what all of you do. While you guys are out training great baseball players, I'm training killers so that you have the opportunity to come here and talk about baseball. And right there, like mic drop.
Sold.
Mic drop. I got the chills. Kevin Bro was actually helping at Birchman. He was sitting in front of me, and I see him like.
And Kevin does a lot of work, for those who don't know, with Acadiana Veteran
That's
Alliance.
right.
Another fantastic guy. So Caleb, I got to ask, this is the kind of thing that I think hits that middle ground, because you're not really a sports fan.
I used to be, but the problem I have now is I do too many things. So like watching football right here, I'm like, oh, I get to watch football because I'm sitting down drinking whiskey. Because any moment that I'm not doing something, I decide, let me add work to that. And this is something that actually Andrew Ward, the AVA, has already talked to me about, and a few others, because I'm on their board as well, because, spare time I don't want. So this is something that actually I've been hearing about for a little while and looking very forward to.
So this is an event not only for veterans, because let's face it, if you've served the country, first of all, thank you. Because to Brooks's point, without people who do this, we don't get to do this. We don't get to play baseball. We don't get to have implicit bias radio. We don't get to do those things without those who, as a sign I saw, I don't even remember where I saw it, but it was a couple days ago,
Men's
maybe
room.
a week ago. No, not men's room, because that was your phone number that was there.
For a good time.
The sign said, "Great soldiers don't hate the people in front of them; they fight for the people who are behind them because they love them so much." Something to that effect, right? And that is the reality. But yet, we do get to do those things, and when you can marry those two things together and then help the next generation see it, that is what it's all about. So, yeah, this is not an event. This is baseball with bourbon. under 21, probably not a thing for you. Let me rephrase that. It's not a thing for you if you're under 21.
Well, and look, when I was a young kid, I played ball. Was I good? I'm not going to lie to you, no. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't have a dad to go play catch with and do all the other stuff that I wish I had done or my dad had done with me. And then as a father, I was gone too much to play catch and do all that. But I tried to play. I tried to enjoy it. And I met a lot of great guys doing it, and it brought me out of a funk. And it helped give me purpose, direction, and everything else. So, you know, even not being someone who plays ball now, I get it. I get what it's after. I get why it's America's pastime. I get the simplicity where you have the team. There's so much to it that just fascinates me. And I'm really happy that we get to buy proxy to be part of this.
And on top of that, I want to throw this out there because this, as we are by proxy part of this, one of the reasons that we had to get behind this, and Brooks, I'll ask you to maybe comment on this. We have people who sacrifice for this country so that we can do these things. And then we get the people who do these things who spit on the legacy of those people who gave life, limb, everything in order for them to do it. So it's about time we get people who bring it back to the other side and have the conversation about why we get to do it, the great patriots that help us do this, and we truly get to honor them by doing it the right way. And Brooks, I know that Batter Up Baseball has that as one of its missions, correct?
Agreed. Like, I think this is an event, like you said, the title is Bourbon and Baseball, or Baseball and Bourbon. I think this is an event for anybody aspiring to be a high achiever and a winner. And winning has many different definitions, right? Winning means being the best husband, the best father, right? You just spoke on it just now, Caleb, right? That has many different definitions. And if you want to be a winner and get some tips, about how to be a leader, this is a great event to come out and learn, because it's going to affect people in the business world. It's going to affect just family people. It's going to affect athletes. It'll have an impact on anybody.
Those principles are universal.
Correct.
So, Tommy, again, how do we get tickets if somebody wants to go to Baseball with Bourbon?
Yeah, so it's easy. Just go to rockandbowl.com/events. You're going to have to kind of scroll down a little bit. It's mixed in with by date in chronological order.
You said chronological
that's
after
a
4
big
whiskeys.
word.
I'm
After
impressed.
4 whiskeys. I could spell it, but we're not going to go there.
No, you can't.
So rockandbowl.com / however you
See what I mean?
want to do it. Yeah. Events, you're going to have to scroll through chronological order of the bands. It's November 7th. It's
Okay.
a Friday night. Sorry for you football guys, but Coach Kozlowski, that was when he can come in. So, look, guys, it's a good room to be in. There's going to be a lot of good, just people in general. But, I mean, a guy from the U.S. Air Force Academy talking baseball while
Yep.
there's bourbon and a room full of winners.
So what we are going to also do is we're going to put that link up there. When we put the social media post up, we will make sure we get it on our socials, and we'll have commercials drop during this show in the next couple of weeks that'll help people find Bourbon with Baseball.
There's also, just want to mention, there's a Facebook page, Batter Up Baseball Club.
Okay.
Go ahead and follow that on Facebook. Keep up. We don't have a lot of action on it yet. It's brand new, but the link with all the details about how to purchase tickets and everything is on there as well.
So if you want to sponsor, they're looking for financial support to make this happen. If you want to buy tickets, you can absolutely contact Batter Up Baseball through Facebook, or you can absolutely go to rockandbowl.com, go to their events page, find November 7th, and buy your tickets. Should be a great event. We're going to continue Implicit Bias Radio right after this as hour 2 with more whiskey rolls on. We are kicking the corporate communists in the McNuggets on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. And we have a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL. It's a bunch of OG. We're missing Short Pour. And you know what? Short Pour, here's to you, because this rye, Burley Short Pour Pellerin, this is a shout out to you, because this particular rye, you're going to want it.
You should be happy that he's not here, because Mrs. Implicit Bias would get none of that.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And we all know that if you want to have a happy life, you need what?
Success.
Happy wife.
Yes. Yes. Happy wife. All right. So we're talking about the corporate communists on this week. As you saw, we've got Rene Girard, the CWAT, the Certified Wizard of Tobacco. That is his nickname on the show, as he is the only certified master tobacconist in Louisiana. At the bar with him, we got Grant Galatas back. Remember the OG crew, also known as Kenebra,
Absolutely.
K&B, and of course, the Rustic Renegade, Caleb Morse. It is a pleasure to have you back. So,
Everything with me is a pleasure.
okay, ring the bell. You got to give him credit. That was good. That was good. It was quick. It was sharp.
My
Which-
wife complains about sometimes me being too quick.
Oh,
Hey,
jeez.
that one deserved a double tap.
I'm not going there because that's going to get us thrown off the radio. All right.
Hour two.
Yeah, hour two
Yep,
is always
yep.
more fun. So this story I sent out to the group. This story is tons of fun because if you think the corporate communists aren't working in concert behind the scenes, you're sadly mistaken. I actually had someone look into this. I say someone. I actually did some significant research and utilized some AI tools to look into this to see if this was actually true. Because sometimes we just can't make this up. George Soros, one of his entities, because, I mean, the guy does his best to be as amorphous as possible. What do I mean by that? He tries to have multiple entities that are business related, that are NGOs and all this stuff that he puts money behind. But George Soros, according to significant accounts on Twitter, I mean, a significant number reported in multiple places, is being sued by Black Lives Matter for $33 million. What, Renee?
He was late on the check.
Oh, he wasn't apparently late on the check. They are suing him because he never sent the check.
What? He was late on the check. The check's in the mail, man.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Okay. I want to start here. Number one, I thought that an organization like Black Lives Matters was not funded by George Soros.
Wait, why'd you think that?
Well, that's what we were told by the media, wasn't it? We were told that this was an organic movement, weren't
they
we?
said that, but then you also have the leader of which who had a lot of problems and got in trouble for embezzlement and everything else.
Bought a
I
couple
mean,
of $6 million homes or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
well-
No, that couldn't happen. No.
And
Where-
look,
I refuse to believe that. Caleb.
Where do you think that $12 million came from? Soros was good on that check. He was late on the current check.
So this lawsuit actually, if you look at it, happened in 2024.
when it said promise funds, is that verbal, contractual?
Say that again, Grant.
I'm sorry, oral contract.
I hope it wasn't oral, but that's a whole nother thing.
Let's keep it clean, fellas. Come on.
Well,
Verbal. a verbal contract.
Okay,
there
there
you
we go.
go.
There we go.
That's the verbiage that is more appropriate.
Yeah.
But remember, the media has told us that this was not organized in any way.
No, yeah, they said that it was all through fundraising, it was their standard means, and that no one was backing them.
Considering what happened with all of the lovely BLM movement people, and like you mentioned, paid for mansions, paid for parties, paid for all this, how do you get Soros together with this particular group of people? This is not two people who met at a party.
Oh, that's
This
a
is-
great
this-
call
This
out.
is not two. This is not two.
You
groups
think they
that
were
just
walking down
happen
the
to-
street and bumped into each other
No,
and
that's
just
the-
mistakenly had a conversation?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Here-
How did
here's-
these two get into the same orbit to
Here's
put
what
this
here's
together?
what I think you're missing though. You're looking at it as how does this person get Soros' ear? It should be when and where did Soros get to his ear? Because
So-
you're not going to get in touch with George Soros. He's never going to be like, oh, I listen to Implicit Bias and I want to talk to you guys. No. He would reach out to us and say, look, I've got this. You need this. Let me do this for you.
So that's one of the magic questions, right? Because to Caleb's point, Black Lives Matter did not create itself and then George Soros fall behind it.
Mm-mm.
George Soros came up with the idea for Black Lives Matters and then funded it. In my opinion, by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I enjoy my life. I am not suicidal. I'm just saying.
Well,
That's my opinion, though, that these things get created by people with this kind of money, not the other way around.
that you got to look at all of these groups that are defecation agitators.
Ring the bell. We're going to
that.
use that.
Yeah.
Ring the
Yeah.
bell.
Well, I had-
Defecation agitators. That
I
is
mean, I had to clean it up. But all of these groups that do this, they're funded by the same
people. Correct.
because that is their motive in life, is to make sure they give the government as much problems and give us as much problems as they can, because they want us to think a certain way. They want to have the Marxist control thing going on.
Okay, so regardless of how these two polar opposites got in bed together,
Yeah.
this,
a horrible
this should be no
image.
surprise. I mean, the audacity for these people to come forward after they just sorely mishandled the initial funds that they were given, but that they would come forward with it in a public manner and file suit against Soros to say, hey, when we got together, you promised us more than you've delivered.
So I've got to.
So they're outing themselves and Soros at the same time, which is just
Well, yeah,
hilarious because Soros is smart,
I've got another question.
smart like a fox,
Well,
but these people he got in bed with, not so smart.
Before you question,
Okay.
you're thinking that they value the mission more than the money. If they value the money more than the mission, you take them to court.
No, but
So-
what I'm saying is they've just exposed the entire operation.
Yes,
So
because the
there's-
money's
they're-
more important than the mission.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I do not
agree,
want to. I do not
100%.
want to think about anybody with that movement exposing themselves. Here's what I do want to think about.
It's a big image.
There's. So they filed a lawsuit, correct? Lawyers cost money, don't they? Are
Mhm.
lawyers cheap? Isn't or didn't Black Lives Matter file for bankruptcy?
Yeah, but 30% of $30 million.
But my point is, so wait, but they don't have any money. So
yeah,
where-
but if would they see the potential funds there? You got attorneys that will do that on a not
It's
a
not
pro
pro
bono,
bono, but
it's
it's
not
the-
pro bono.
It's
Pay
the
to play.
pay to play. Yeah, they see the potential of money there. They know Soros will eventually. Well, I don't know if they open their mouth.
Well,
too
there'll be
much.
a billboard on
Soros
I-10
might
that
not-
says, "Are you part of Black Lives Matter and want to join the class action lawsuit?"
Well, yeah, but I mean, Soros might look at because they exposed so much of the organization or how it ran. I ain't giving you diddly,
Okay, Grant, go ahead, and then I've got another question because this one to me is the cherry on top of all of
They
this.
will not have a problem getting legal representation because every lawyer on this planet is a publicity.
How?
Strumpet.
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 Nice word,
Yeah.
strumpet.
Hooer.
Okay, so we're gonna go a little long here, Tug, because this is going down the road that I thought it would, the road that I thought it would. All right, but this is the question now. The question now is: right now in Washington D.C., organizations are being declared what? Foreign terrorist organizations, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
So wouldn't an organization that received money, distributed money, that was funded, George Soros isn't a U.S. citizen, is he? That would be a no. So it's funded by foreign money. Wouldn't the lawsuit itself designate Black Lives Matter as a foreign organization because they were funded by money from outside the United States, which now gives the administration the ability to label them as a foreign terrorist organization? Because let's face it, a peaceful protest doesn't burn entire freaking cities down.
No.
And that is our implicit bias. We're coming back. It's the penultimate segment already, Tug.
Yep.
Tug doing work for Walker because apparently Walker has unlimited vacation here on Implicit Bias Radio. We'll be back right after this. Implicit Bias Radio rolling on an hour too, but maybe people who sample weekly whiskeys won't be able to get in cars after 2026, after there is legislation on the books that says that they can put what they call, and it is not actual, but they call it breathalyzer technology into vehicles in 2026. And actually, it's mandated. With the crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL, Grant Galatas of William S. Nacall Jewelers. He is known as K&B from Kenna, bruh. We got Renee Girard, Louisiana's only certified master tobacconist of Piper's Haven, which, yes, we're recording prior to this being aired. So if you're hearing this on terrestrial radio, it means that Renee, his rear end is firmly macrameed to a seat on the porch because it is porch sitting weather. Correct, Renee?
Yes.
Yes. And then, of course, we have the Rustic Renegade. He is Caleb Morse. A fantastic way to enter, to get tickets to Implicit Dinner. Winner, Implicit Dinner. You can go shoot on the digital range at the Rustic Renegade to enter. You can go to any location of the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective and enter.
It's much easier to go to anyone else. It
It's-
really is.
But look, shoot
we're
the
the-
digital range.
we're the challenge.
Yes.
It is a challenge.
Go see Renee.
It
Go
is a
see Grant.
challenge.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
got to say this, Renee, you should have waited for that because we would
Oh.
use that in the next segment. Why? Because the next answer would be, I fart in your general direction.
Well, we can do it again.
Yeah. All right. So, yes, you can go anywhere the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective is represented, whether that's Benny's in Opelousas, Champagne's in Karen Crow, Champagne's in Abbeville, Ambassador Wine and Spirits, Nunu's in Youngsville or Maurice. Go to Gambino's Bakery, go to William S. Nacall Jewelers, go to Piper's Haven, scan the QR code, get entered to win dinner with the crew and roughly 80 of our closest friends.
You should be there.
Yes, at Mr. Lester's, at Cypress Bayou Casino, smoke cigars, which sometimes are on hand. Renee usually brings a couple extra,
Yep.
right? We will have food. We will cover booze. Mr. Lester's will cover that and hotel for the night on November 15th. It's going to be a fantastic
It's a
event.
fun time.
Okay, so we have to get into the story that we were kind of diving into, which is, so first of all, let's start here. There's technology that can be put into vehicles, which does not allow the vehicle to function if you do not pass a breathalyzer test. This is frequently utilized by people who have been in front of judges and they have been convicted or pleaded guilty to multiple DUI charges.
Tug, that's what, the second DUI you get that?
Tug is there because Walker apparently found his way to another vacation, which, look, I wish Implicit Bias Radio could offer paid vacation. Yeah, we are what we
Look,
are.
I get the same pay when I'm on vacation from Implicit as when I'm working.
Yeah, well, this is true.
Yeah.
You still get all the same ads, right?
Yeah.
Which happens. So it happens. But at the end of the day, this technology is there. But now, according to the USA Today, please don't believe us on this, believe them. We are looking at mandates to put some other technology in play that will essentially shut your vehicle down if the vehicle gathers data that indicates, and this is, remember, the corporate communist, they can't guarantee that you're intoxicated. They can't guarantee that you are past the legal limit. They are collecting data that indicates that you might be.
Well, look, they'll your geolocation, the geofencing, all the stuff you saw when you were inside this place. That's what, 2026 is when they're looking at doing this?
Yep.
In the South, all of a sudden, the newest vehicle you buy is 2025.
If we're buying it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, but with all these auto drive technologies and that, why does it care? You can just let your car, you punch your buttons, go, car, take me home. And there you go. You drive, you can be intoxicated. The car's not.
Well,
Renee,
the law would still give you a DUI, though, I believe.
so hold on. If
you're not operating, what if you're in the back seat?
But what
Like
if you're in the
the
back seat? That
Waymos.
might be different.
what if you're in the passenger seat?
Yeah.
So hold on. Ring the bell, Renee, because
That's a
you
valid
just
point.
you just helped me recognize the real motive behind all of this. And this stems back to what a lot of auto companies are doing today, which is providing you with a vehicle and telling you, hey,
A subscription service.
if you want all this extra stuff, you're going to pay monthly on top of buying the vehicle. So what is this play and where did this mandate come from? They're going to use the word safety to say, oh, this is about safety. What it's really about is they're going to sell you a car with this and then tell you, but if you want the autopilot, it's an extra $50 a month. Now, this
it'll
is for
probably-
entertainment purposes only. This is me theorizing,
It'll
but I
probably
believe
be-
that's where it's going.
It'll
Or
probably
you-
be a 1-year contract, too. Like, oh, well, you need it this one time, 12 months. Can't discontinue early.
Right.
Commitment.
Either that or they're going to charge you $1,000. Oh, you drunk and you need to go somewhere? Oh, it's $1,000 now. And we
Yeah.
turn
It's a
on
grand for the year. Correct. We'll turn it on right now.
Autopilot. Yeah.
You think we're kidding?
Nope. I see that happening.
Look at how many vehicles have subscription services today. Toyota, if you want the remote start on a Toyota, it doesn't come on your key fob. It's an app on your phone, and it's $15 a month.
Look, the best.
General Motors Super Cruise is a subscription service.
What's Super Cruise? What is that?
That is
I
the
don't
auto
know.
drive. That's the
Ah.
auto drive feature on their trucks and
See,
cars.
here I was thinking that Super Cruise was just the app you had to pay for, so your GM actually
Yeah.
worked.
And see, like, I remember.
No
I
matter
remember
how much you
whenever-
pay, that won't work.
I remember whenever remote start was like, "Hey, Junior, go do this."
Yes.
Then you ran out in your underwear, got the truck started, turned the heat on, came back in. You're like, "It's so cold."
Yeah, and you survived.
Yeah.
But the point here is, to me, this is the end all be all of it. This is what this is all about. This is about the money grab to say, oh, we've got all this technology. We can get you home in your vehicle for an extra. So they are finding more ways to say, hey, we get this mandated. And they're using politics to do it. Now, would it make the road more safe? There's probably an argument for that. But on the same hand, when you think about the data they're using, they're not using actual breathalyzer data because they can't. It's illegal for them to say that you have to have this to use your car because they are essentially convicting you without you going to trial. But what this does is it says, oh, your movement's on the steering wheel. Oh, we've got a camera in the vehicle that's moving, your lane integrity. It's using all this different data to say, oh, we think you might be drunk, so we're going to shut down your car.
You were in the TSPL for the last 3 hours.
Renee, don't go there. We're gonna have police looking for the TSPL, waiting for you to leave. Because when Drunkle peels out of the parking lot, that's not a good thing.
Well, even like my truck, my dually that I don't drive right now, with lane monitoring, it's the average lane is what, 9 feet?
Actually, I do not know that. I don't know.
I think it's
Yeah,
9 feet.
I
And my
think
truck
it
is my truck was 8 feet 9 inches wide. So it's like if I sneeze, oh,
Are you exaggerating that with like everything?
No, I round down. Um, so, like, I mean, it bothered me. I had to turn off lane assist because I'm like, look, yeah, I know that I'm a full lane, and when I have a trailer behind me or something else, it just bothers the snot out of me, right? And that's what I see with this is, look, yeah, does it help some people? Sure. Does it help everyone? No. And look, technology has its advancements. It has its place. And there's going to be people out there like, look, I never have to drive again. And if that's you, great, pay for the service. If that's not you, stand up against the man. And the man at this could be big government. It could be one of the big three. It could be one of the big seven. It could just be, I don't want AI in my toilet. I don't know what it is.
So here's this conversation actually stems from a good conversation I had earlier today with one of my college roommates. His name is Christian Boss. And Christian was like, he's an economics finance guy. And as we were going through this corporate communism thing, and you said the answer, right? He looked at me and said, there is so much responsibility on the consumer here for us giving into this. Oh, take that finger and stick it, but we got to, well, if you stick it, we won't be able to talk about the last segment, which hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, there is a lot of responsibility on the consumer because we keep buying this crap. We keep putting up with it and we keep giving our money to these people. And that's the real root of the evil is that we keep going, oh, that's cool. I want it. And I want the convenience. And we trade convenience for privacy. We trade freedom for safety, allegedly. And at the end of it all, we end up less free, less private, less money, and less safe. Implicit bias is going to really go off the rails when we come back because we're going to talk about a world record that I don't know I'd be proud of if it's even really a world record. But regardless, this extensive flatulence is just impressive. And I'm not talking about Caleb continuing to talk on the microphone. We'll be back. Something stinks in the air here on Implicit Bias Radio in the final segment of hour 2, which is always more fun because, yes, there's more weekly whiskey, and we always get something that's just usually a fun story in the last segment. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We have a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL, which, by the way, Mr. Lester's $5 pours of Blanton's all through the month of October. At the bar, Renee Girard, the CWAT, the certified wizard of tobacco, one of just 15 certified master tobacconists on the planet. We also have K&B. He is Grant Galatas of William S. Nacall Jewelers. From where?
Canberra.
And, of course, the rustic renegade, Caleb Morse himself, sits here in the TSPL with us. All right, so this last story. Grant, you actually begged me not to do this story. Why?
He can do better.
I don't know. I don't know what it was about this. Actually, it's it's disgusting. First off, it's unusual. It's inhuman. There are so many wrong turns to this story.
Was it the fact that the microphone got pink eye just from this story happening?
You should be playing sound bites right now.
Yes. Okay. So let me explain this story. It's kind of been a thing on X and social media in the last week. Is that allegedly some guy, and I believe it's Spanish that they're speaking in the video. Some guy allegedly, quote, broke the world record for the longest fart. 40 seconds continuous.
To really break the world record, you have to get Guinness there.
Allegedly, yes. And that's why I say allegedly this happened.
They have to be there, they have to be prepared for it, and you'd be like, on the spot, let's do this.
Okay, so first of all, flatulence on command. That's a unique talent. Renee, you obviously want to chime in.
A lot of pinto beans. Lots and lots of pinto beans.
So first of all, the corporate sponsorship for this writes itself.
Bush's baked beans.
Yeah.
Presented by Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
depends. There when you need us.
Yeah.
Do you trust it? I mean, the one-liners here.
40 seconds worth? No, you don't trust it. No.
What kind of air fresheners would you need after this?
Yeah, I'm sure
mean,
that building.
Obviously, it's not an SBD. You know, it's a loud one, so you know you can
Blade
hear it.
plug and play.
Yeah,
we last a full minute.
Yeah,
we will outlast you.
Like it's outrageous.
How far down on the totem pole do you have to be at Guinness to be the one who gets to go down and verify this record? And how close to the origin of the record do you have to
They have to be
get?
right there. They have to inspect it. But like, is there a sound modification device? Sir, I need to see the brown eye.
yeah. Is there a strip search involved? I mean, I don't know.
So here's the fun part. The fun part is I actually threw this into AI, and I was like, look, is this real? and it says, first of all,
What's wrong with you?
Guinness does not have the category. There is no category for the longest fart in the Guinness Book of World Records.
They can add it.
Hold on, they could add
They
it.
could add it.
Can we play the video?
I don't know if
can we
Tug
play
can,
the audio.
I don't know
on
if
the
he's
video?
got it and can
We
play
don't
it
have
on
enough
command,
time for
right?
that.
No, we don't.
We don't have 40 seconds.
But here's, well, no, we don't have time for him to find it, first of all, which we know is in his phone, and then connect all the devices to get it on air and on video. Because if you're going to put it on air for our radio listeners, you have to put it on video for our YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, because this just isn't done justice if you don't get the leg hike in there as part of it. But here's the worst part. The worst part is if you look this up on AI and you ask, is this real? It says, number one, Guinness does not have this category. And in fact, someone in Great Britain 30 years ago allegedly holds the record at 2 minutes and 30 seconds plus. What kind of unnatural death happened in your small colon in order for you to break wind for a straight 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Good Lord, William, where did that come from?
Have you ever eaten British cuisine?
It's pretty
No.
much all based on a dare, so no thanks.
There you go.
Blood pudding.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I am thankful for this story. I am so thankful for this. I'm so glad I saw this. Number one,
You're glad you saw that?
I am, and let me tell you why. Give me a minute. Why don't you zip it and just let me tell you?
Much better than smelling it.
So number one, you don't have to worry about who smelt that, dealt that. Number two, I had a really good friend in college who literally could fart on command. I mean, he was like on-demand farting. We have on-demand video. He had on-demand, right?
Well,
And-
eventually that's on demand something else.
Yes, but here's the deal. This makes me realize that even though this person I did live with him as a roommate for a year, it could have been much worse, right? So that's number two. Number three, I am just glad that this guy did not do number two, apparently.
Mhm.
And number four, because there's an extra one, I haven't laughed this hard in a while. And it's not from the video, because let's face it, who doesn't like a good fart joke? But at the end of the day, sitting here watching the crew here in the TSPL, I mean, Dylan Galatas is over here, and I think he's about to urinate himself. He's laughing so hard for the last 7 minutes straight.
Do you think his wife noticed his talent first?
Dylan or...
No, the guy.
Oh, okay, the guy. So first of all, what woman marries a dude that can break wind for a minute straight almost?
Yeah, she's like, you know what, honey? That's my favorite feature.
Because let me
of you."
tell you, turtle to the death with that dude is literal.
I bet you that's something she's so proud of.
Oh, yeah.
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 She's like, Meredith,
Can you only-
Meredith,
can
come
you-
check this out.
Can you only imagine those? Can you only imagine those wedding vows
Till gas do us part.
and how he said "I do" on the altar?
It's a nice comedic break from all the flatulence coming out of Washington right now.
Ooh.
Oh, ring the bell. That's well played, Grant.
Seriously.
No, it is. I mean, you got so much just
Hot air.
gas coming out of Washington D.C. So for us to see somebody who thinks that the natural gas deposit in his large intestine is that important is a wonderful thing for us to see, because it reminds us that at the end of the day, we're all human. We all eat, we all drink, we all sleep. No matter how pretty they are, they all fart.
Even Selma Hayek?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
it
my
normally
God.
It normally takes 5 years of marriage before you hear that the first time. So, you
Yeah.
know.
Fantastic episode of this week's Implicit Bias Radio. Remember, if you want to enter to win tickets to Winner Implicit Dinner, November 15th at Mr. Lester's, go to a member of the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective, scan the QR code, enter. Go to William S. Nacall Jewelers, go to Lafayette Power Sports, go to Piper's Haven, go to Gambino's Bakery, scan the QR code, go to the Rustic Renegade, shoot against me and Caleb.
Go everywhere else first. Go there first. Scan a QR code where it's easy. Test your metal.
Oh, it sounds to me like somebody thinks they're good.
I'm not saying I'm good. Beat me. Go ahead.
No,
Someone
you're saying
someone
you're
else
great.
has. No, someone else has already beat me.
Yeah, but he was shooting right-handed. You shot left-handed.
And
Well,
he literally sat there and memorized it. He cheated. We know he
Yes,
cheated.
cheater.
Sage Bro, just for you, we know
Cheater.
you cheat. We
Well,
know
look-
you cheat. It's okay.
I am very certain that Blake Miguez could beat me on that course.
That's
Oh, yeah, probably.
okay.
And Blake, if
Probably.
you want to, come on.
Bring it.
Come
Bring
over
it.
to the shop and just outshoot me. I'm fine with that. It's okay.
Wow. Dropping names, calling out lawmakers in Louisiana, telling them to show up and actually put their money where their mouth
It's
is.
not uncommon for someone to do better than me.
I want to say it. 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 That's what your wife said. And there's Tug giving us the 1 minute finger. Cheers to you. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. We hope you had as much fun listening as we had making this episode. Because, guys, I don't know about you, but this has been a fun one.
This is a good one. My face hurts.
Tons of fun. Well, your face has been killing me for the last 5 years. Cheers. We'll be back in 7. Remember, don't do what's easy. Do what's right. We'll see you next week on Implicit Bias Radio.